So for learning task 4-2, the impacts of lung disease, this is going to look just like the assignment that you did for heart disease, the difference being you're looking up information about lung disease and how it relates um, to the economy, family, healthcare systems, employments, the individual and media, etc. And you actually come back to this assignment just like you did your heart disease one in a future assignment. So it's worthwhile to take your time to do a good job on this one. So if we right click and open our template, this will be familiar. Same template, different type of disease or diseases, I suppose. These links will also be different. Just while it loads up. These links will also be different, but what you're looking at is the same in a sense. So you're looking at the impact of lung disease on Canadian society, and you're using statistics from these pages to show the impact. You may find, just like you did in the heart disease one, that you can't fit what you need to on this slide. So most of you are just probably going to insert text boxes, and you could throw a border around them to make them thicker. But you might find that you actually need more for a certain area. So don't forget that you can just Control D and duplicate the slides when you start. I'm going to undo that, but you can feel free to do that when you get going. So what are we looking at again? We're looking specifically at the impacts of lung disease on the economy in Canada, on families in Canada, on the healthcare system, as it relates to maybe media, advertising, TV, music, how it hits the individual, and how it can impact employment. So if we look over here, you can find a bunch of different information just like you did with heart disease. So you're going to take some of these pieces of information and see how they relate back to these overall areas in terms of impact of heart disease. So you can take your time and work through. You're not pulling all the information. You're thinking about what makes the most sense. So this is interesting here. There's been a steady increase in the number of lung transplants performed in Canada, but the number of patients on the list is starting to rise. So that would be an impact on the healthcare system, right? So don't pull everything, but pull what stands out to you. You'll find some statistics here as well. Yeah, so the number of men that were diagnosed, the number of women. What's kind of interesting, if you look at that, they're actually almost completely on par. So that's kind of an interesting statistic. On average, 78 Canadians were diagnosed with cancer every day. So that's pretty interesting. You could link that maybe back to the individual. So think about how you're going to put those there and how you're going to add the little pieces of information into text boxes on your slides, keeping in mind that you may create more slides, and that's fine. Yeah, this is interesting. So the proportion of smokers has dropped. So there's lots of different information on these pages that you can pull. You are not expected to put everything on this, but just what stands out to you and what you find interesting. Once you have done that, this one has to go into an assignment area for marking. So you're going to go back here. Oops. No, I'm going to have to, let's go here. So it's going to be in the assignment area. And 4.2, there will be a rubric there that you can have a look at. And as long as you've integrated your Google Docs, you should just be able to pull the slideshow right into it. So submit that here. You will be revisiting it back in 6.3. So keep in mind, you come back to that one. But I think that's all the points we need to get going with that one.